8 years ago, Joseph R. Catti founded Finemark National Bank and Trust. Today, the bank is thriving, but Joe's success did not come without a lot of hard work. It was an extraordinary work ethic, strong relationships, uncommon faith, and absolute integrity that carried this laureate on a long journey to entrepreneurial excellence.
A lot of people can look at Joe's success and they can say, wow, has he been lucky? Wow, how does he do all of that? There's a work ethic that is built inside of his heart, inside of his mind, and his commitment to be successful, but to be successful by working with others, by supporting other people, by helping them to be successful, helps to build this. And I think this is another reason that he's a great role model for junior achievement, is that you don't achieve success simply by accident. You achieve it by hard work, by internal faith, and clearly by living a life of integrity. And that's something very special and something Joe lives every day.
A native Floridian, Joe Catti was born and raised in Miami, one of 4 children in a working-class family. Joe's strong work ethic showed at a young age. At age 12, he and his friends charged admission to carnivals set up in their backyards. At 14, he worked a paper route, and at 15, he began working at a dry cleaner every day before school. He started his first real business, a landscaping company, during his junior year in high school. After high school, Joe was on his own financially, so he worked full-time while earning his associate's and bachelor's degrees. At the same time, he was supporting his wife Joanne and their first child, Christopher. Joe graduated from Florida International University in 1983. In 1985, when he was 28 years old, Joe began his banking career with Southeast Bank. Several years later, he joined Northern Trust, and in 1992, Joe and his family moved to Lee County. Joe, Joanne, and their 4 children, Christopher, Jennifer, Jessica, and Nicholas, made their home in Southwest Florida. Joe's role with Northern Trust grew, and he became the bank's regional president. His connections also grew, thanks to naturally keen relationship management skills and a sincere interest in helping others.
Well, I think some of the things that Joe has done that have particularly struck me is some of the ways that he's dealt with his customers. I mean, I remember he talked to me about a customer that he had a couple of years ago. The people couldn't get a home loan for their house. They'd been sort of led astray by some people, and they came to him, and they were really desperate. And he made the decision to loan them the money within 15 minutes, and by the next day he had the money to them. And this was a couple that didn't have a lot of resources, and he gave him $200 out of his own pocket to go and have dinner that night. So I think that shows a lot about Joe. Joe is terrific at relationships. He's very, very good with people. And he doesn't do it in a manipulative way. He does it in a genuine, caring way. It's not an act with him, it's the real thing.
Intensely loyal in all his relationships, friends say leaving Northern Trust after nearly 20 years was a major decision for Joe, but his entrepreneurial spirit prevailed. It was 2006 when Joe and others launched Finemark National Bank. With great people at his side, Joe worked tirelessly to propel the startup bank to $1 billion in just 8 years.
I think one of Joe's characteristics is he is a risk taker. And that shows by the very fact that he was able to make the decision to leave his current job and to start a bank, and went out and raised $36 million to start a bank that has gone from 0 to $1 billion in 7 years. So you can't do that without taking some risks.
As Director, President, and Chief Executive Officer of Finemark Holdings Incorporated and Finemark National Bank and Trust, Joe takes his business very seriously, but he's still a regular guy who enjoys running, traveling, and spending time with family. He likes to have fun in the office and after hours, treating employees and customers like his own family. He also shows extraordinary dedication to giving back and helping the community at large. According to his colleagues, service is one of his core beliefs and a result of his faith. He believes he has been blessed and put in the position to give back to the community and to those less fortunate. He strongly encourages others to volunteer, leading by example. He currently volunteers on the boards of numerous nonprofits and educational institutions, and his leadership is highly valued.
There is so much that goes on in this community that people are not aware of, that if you really dug deep behind the scenes, you would find Joe's fingerprints. He gets a lot of visibility in a lot of ways, but there's a lot more that people aren't aware of that he just quietly makes happen for other people. So one day I went to Joe and I said, help me figure out how to find a campaign chairman for our Children's Hospital campaign. And Joe said, so you don't want me to do that? And I said, Joe, this is a really, really massive campaign. I can't ask you to do that. You're my friend. I mean, he said, so you don't want me to do it? I said, Joe, I mean, that'd be wonderful, but I just need your help to try and help me find somebody to do it. So you don't want me to do it? I said, well, okay. And this was after he came off a number of years as a major fundraiser on behalf of Florida Gulf Coast University and chairing its foundation. He had chaired the Lee Memorial Foundation for a couple of years. And I just knew very significantly how much he had going on in his life. And I was trying desperately to talk him out of it. What a wonderful job. Over $83 million he's helped raise in this community and is still out there helping make it happen. And at the same time, he's done a wonderful job for United Way and so many, many other organizations. And he just keeps on finding people and speaking up and speaking out. His passion and his energy over the causes he chooses to get involved in is really second to none.
Joe has been recognized for his generosity with the 2005 Lee County Philanthropist of the Year Award, the 2009 Boy Scouts Distinguished Citizen Award for Lee and Collier counties, the 2010 Gulf Shore Life Men and Women of the Year Award, and the 2012 Voice of the Year by Voices for Kids of Southwest Florida, Guardian ad litem. Most recently, the News Press named Finemark the 2014 Business of the Year.
Joe's recipes for success certainly has to do with developing deep relationships with people where they know Joe well enough to know that they can trust him, that he's always looking out for their best interest. Young people could learn from Joe Catti how important it is to have solid character and to deal with other people with integrity, you know, so that you can trust what you're being told. You don't have to worry that there's spin on what you're being told. Joe's a straight shooter. Joe Catti epitomizes what the Junior Achievement Hall of Fame is about. He's someone that's built a business the right way, using integrity and character and the hard work to succeed.
Junior Achievement of Southwest Florida is happy to name Joseph R. Catti to the Business Hall of Fame, Lee County.